The owner of one of the biggest looks maxing websites just got leaked, and here is what the perpetrator looks like. Now, it's easy to make fun of someone who looks like this, but I have a theory that this sort of behavior is exactly what is leading to the male loneliness epidemic, and I have proof.
The owner of one of the biggest looks-maxing websites was recently exposed, and people quickly started mocking his appearance. At first glance, it's easy to laugh or judge, but I actually think this reaction proves something much deeper. I believe this exact mindset is contributing to the male loneliness epidemic, and I think there's real evidence for it. Before anything else, I want to clarify something. Pointing out obvious flaws is not the same as making fun of someone. There's a difference between cruelty and honesty. Saying, if you look like this and expect model-level attention without putting any effort into yourself, isn't bullying. It's reality. Looks matter. Personality matters. Money matters. Having a job matters. Everything matters. Pretending otherwise doesn't help anyone. At the same time, constantly shaming people for their looks only reinforces the problem. One of the top comments said, making fun of his looks only proves his point, and I actually agree with that. Mockery just pushes people deeper into resentment, isolation, and bitterness. Here's where things get interesting. I've noticed that many people who leave extreme or hateful comments online have private profiles, no photos, and anonymous usernames. I asked some of them why. Almost all of them said the same thing. They're terrified of being judged. They're scared of what people will say if they show their face. From high school to college to social media, there's massive pressure on men to be rich, jacked, lean, and successful. When they feel they don't measure up, many of them don't even try. That's the real issue. This leads to a nihilistic mindset. Why bother if I'll never be enough? That mentality is exactly how people become isolated, angry, and eventually fall into incel or black pill communities. Social media makes this worse. People compare their real lives to the most polished, edited versions of others. They see bodies, money, and lifestyles without seeing the struggle behind them. Comparison kills motivation. Instead of improving for themselves, people feel like failures if they don't hit some imaginary standard, like not getting enough likes on Instagram. Looks-maxing culture plays a role here. Basic self-care, hygiene, fitness, those are fine. But once it turns into obsessive ranking, surgeries, steroids, peptides, and constant self-surveillance, it becomes unhealthy. Some people completely reshape their bodies and still feel deeply insecure. When their identity is built entirely on appearance, any criticism sends them into emotional breakdowns. True confidence doesn't come from perfect bone structure or surgeries. It comes from internal stability. If a single insult can shatter you, then no amount of external improvement will fix that. I've seen people with visible flaws, cold sores, disabilities, or disadvantages still show up confidently because they know their value isn't tied to appearance. That's the core point. Your worth doesn't come from social rankings or online validation. It comes from perseverance, discipline, resilience, and character. Yes, take care of your body. Yes, improve your life. But do it for yourself, not because you're competing on some imaginary leaderboard. If you're deep in incel or looks-maxing spaces and haven't even tried to improve your health, education, or mindset, then at some point accountability matters. People born with far fewer advantages still manage to build meaningful, successful lives. If they can try, so can you. Blaming women, society, or genetics forever leads nowhere. Victimhood feels comfortable, but it keeps you stuck. Growth requires responsibility, even when life is unfair. That's just my perspective. I'm not perfect, but I believe self-accountability beats bitterness every time. What do you think?